Pakistan stands at a breaking point tonight, torn apart by massive gunfire on its borders and violent clashes in the heart of Punjab. The country's fragile facade of stability is crumbling fast, with violence erupting on both its western frontier and deep inside its cities. The latest flashpoint came from the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, where intense fighting broke out once again. Early Wednesday morning, both sides have been witnessing a series of border clashes, in fact, since Saturday evening. And just a few hours ago, Pakistan's foreign ministry said that both Kabul and Islamabad have agreed to a 48-hour ceasefire. But whether peace holds remains a significant question at this point, because the official Taliban spokesman, Zabiullah Mujahid, in a post on social media, made it clear that it was at the request and insistence of the Pakistani side that a ceasefire has been implemented between the two countries. Further stating that Afghan forces have been directed to observe the ceasefire until no aggression occurs. The Taliban have said that at least 15 Afghan civilians lost their lives after Pakistan troops shelled the border villages in the border city of Spin Boldak around 4 a.m. local time. In fact, the Taliban called it unprovoked aggression. Pakistan, on the other hand, accused Afghanistan fighters of launching cowardly attacks at multiple locations, according to them. Hey. What started out as sporadic fire has turned into one of the bloodiest cross-border exchanges since the Taliban took over Kabul in 2021. Dozens have died on both sides. Hundreds more are injured. The two countries shut key border crossings, choking trade routes and leaving trucks stranded. Pakistan's military in a statement claimed that 20 Taliban fighters were killed in the latest round of combat. They also released a video showing a drone strike on a Taliban border post. The Taliban, on the other hand, saying Pakistan is hiding its losses, saying that Islamabad's shelling killed civilians, not militants. For people on both sides, the suffering is unbearable. Villages emptying out, families fleeing homes shattered by mortar shells. Locals saying bullets ripped through their houses before dawn as both armies exchanged heavy fire.
Firing started from both sides early in the morning. In our village, shells and bullets started hitting people's houses. A young boy from our village was also wounded in this. Our request is for both our government of Pakistan and the Taliban fighters to immediately stop this war, because Pashtun people live on both sides of the border. Many people have migrated from our village since morning.
You see, behind this border bloodshed lies a deeper crisis. Pakistan has accused the Taliban of sheltering Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, an outfit that Islamabad claims is responsible for repeated attacks inside Pakistan. Kabul not only rejects the accusation, but has blamed Pakistan, on the contrary, for harboring ISKP and Lashkar terrorists to target Afghanistan and Pakistan areas like Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Islamabad's accusations have only worsened ties, leaving Pakistan isolated and also desperate. In fact, senior Taliban official claiming that Pakistan reached out to Qatar and Saudi Arabia to help broker peace. And that move exposes just how nervous Islamabad really has become, perhaps afraid of an Afghan backlash that it cannot control anymore. And Pakistan does have reason to worry because its traditional allies are also growing wary. China and Russia have their own stakes, remember, in Afghanistan. Even the United States has re-engaged with the Taliban for its strategic interests. And Pakistan now finding itself cornered, distrusted abroad, and divided at home. Punjab is witnessing widespread protests after security forces crack down on the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, or the TLP. Videos of chaos and bloodshed circulating online, but the government is trying to suppress the coverage, reportedly. Pakistani journalist Hamid Mir slammed the censorship, saying Pakistanis now rely on Indian publications for the truth about their own country because of the censorship of facts at home. The government's attempt to silence dissent is backfiring. The same groups that Islamabad once nurtured to consolidate power are now turning against it. Religious hardliners are back on the streets, feeling betrayed, demanding revenge for their slain supporters. The establishment, long accused of using extremist groups to try and weaken elected governments, is now paying the price for decades of duplicity. And amid the turmoil, former Prime Minister Imran Khan has said that his party, the PTI, has been given a mandate by the people of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and would not act against their interests. Imran Khan's comments came after the Pakistan military said that the country would not mortgage the security of its people with any country. A statement that perhaps further underlines both the foreign pressure and also the internal mistrust there. Pakistan seems to be collapsing, one crisis at a time. Its western border burning with a war that it seems it cannot control without foreign mediation, and its cities erupting with anger that it cannot seem to contain. Its government fighting to silence the very chaos it helped create. And for now, Pakistan's leaders are blaming everyone but themselves. But the truth is clear. A state built on double games, perhaps, is finally catching up with its own lies. India is turning the Brahmaputra into a powerhouse of the future. New Delhi has just unveiled a mega 6.4 lakh crore rupees hydropower plan, a plan to harness the river in northeast India, a plan that will light up millions of homes and also fortify India's strength where it matters the most. The mighty river that connects India's frontiers will now help anchor its clean energy ambitions as well as long-term strategic aims. The plan includes tapping over 76 gigawatts of hydro capacity from the Brahmaputra basin by 2047. The report, released on Monday by India's Central Electricity Authority, says that the plan covers 208 large hydro projects across 12 sub-basins in the northeastern states. The potential capacity has been clocked at 64.9 GW, with an additional 11.1 from pumped storage plants. It's a mighty endeavor. Remember, the Brahmaputra River, which in fact holds massive hydro potential in its Indian stretch, particularly in the northeastern state of Arunachal Pradesh, next to the China border. Now, why is this such a big deal, in case you're wondering? Let's just break this down for you. The move is part of a wider master plan for the evacuation of power from hydroelectric plants in the Brahmaputra basin. A massive infrastructure project that has been designed by the Central Electricity Authority. It's also India's quiet response to China's goal of developing the dam on the Yarlang-Tsangpo River, the Chinese name for the Brahmaputra River. China's mega dam project has already raised serious concern. According to analysts and observers, China's project will result in 85% reduction in the Brahmaputra's flow during the dry season. And that's a significant amount of water, to say the least. It will inevitably affect people's livelihoods and the region's agriculture and ecology. Currently, the Brahmaputra Basin has an installed capacity of 4.8 gigawatts across 22 projects, and another 2 gigawatts is in under construction projects. Just to put that in perspective, the region's total hydropower potential equals more than 40% of India's overall hydropower capacity of 145.32 gigawatts. Meanwhile, China's dam, the proposed capacity is 60 gigawatts, nearly 3 times that of the Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest power station built on the Yangtze River. Now, China has refused to sign the 1997 UN Convention on the Law of the Non-Navigational Uses of International Watercourses, which basically governs the sharing and also the management of transboundary rivers. And that's a massive cause of concern. So China's projects would basically allow it to control and potentially weaponize the river which feeds the Siang, Brahmaputra and Jamuna rivers, leaving downstream communities in India at its mercy in a way. In fact, a 2020 report by Australian think tank talking about this, it said that control over these rivers in the Tibetan Plateau effectively giving China a chokehold on India's economy. And so New Delhi is not sitting quietly, nor willing to expose vulnerable communities that depend on these rivers to China's decisions. And that's why the scale of India's response shows just how important the Brahmaputra is to India. Just to put this further in perspective, the total length's about 2,900 kilometers, including 1,346 kilometers in India. The Brahmaputra Basin is spread across 580,000 square kilometers, of which 50.5% is in China, 33.6% in India, 8.1% in Bangladesh, 7.8% in Bhutan. In India, it spans Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, West Bengal, Meghalaya, Nagaland and Sikkim, covering over 194,000 square kilometers. That's nearly 6% of India's total geographical area. India has already set the ball rolling on that Upper Siang multi-purpose project on the Siang River, the upstream portion of the Brahmaputra. These reservoir-based hydropower projects should be able to counter a heavy flow of water from China if it ever decides to release water without informing India. And the reservoirs will also help store water during the monsoon, creating a backup in case China turns off the flow from that dam. And speaking of travel, the US passport is seeing a dramatic shift. As you would know, every year the world's passports are ranked according to how much power they have. The US passport is now no longer ranked among the world's top 10 most powerful passports. In fact, this has happened for the first time since those Henley Passport Index ratings were created 20 years ago. So it's a historic low, to say the least. Let's just give you some more perspective here. The American passport was once unrivaled at number 1. This was in the year 2014. And it just so happened that the passport now stands at the 12th spot, tied with Malaysia, with visa-free access to 180 of 227 destinations worldwide. According to the chairman of Henley and Partners and the creator of Henley Passport Index, the declining strength of the US passport over the past decade is more than just a reshuffle in rankings. It signals a fundamental shift in global mobility and soft power dynamics. And that nations that embrace openness and cooperation are surging ahead, while those resting on past privilege are being left behind. Basically saying that seemingly small changes have had outsized consequences, underscoring just how finely balanced the global mobility landscape has become. According to Henley and Partners, the decline of the US passport and its most recent drop from the 10th to the 12th position on that index has basically been driven by a series of access changes, the loss of visa-free access to Brazil in April due to a lack of reciprocity, and the US being left out of China's rapidly expanding visa-free list. marked the start of its downward slide. And this was followed by adjustments from Papua New Guinea and Myanmar, which further eroded the US score while boosting other passports. And most recently, Somalia's launch of a new e-visa system and Vietnam's decision to exclude the US from its latest visa-free editions delivered the final blow, pushing it out of the top 10. Interestingly, the UK passport has fallen to its lowest ever position on that index, slipping 2 places since July from 6th to the 8th spot, despite also once holding the top spot in 2015. In fact, let's also tell you which passports are ranked at the top. Singapore maintaining its grip at the top of the latest rankings. South Korea coming in second, followed by Japan.